hundreds of thousands of dollars and countless man-hours of research and development to put their product in the winner's circle. Why bother? The answer is simple: dollars and common sense, as what wins on Sunday sells on Monday. This past summer, Kawasaki unleashed a full-fledged factory effort on the 10-stop Budweiser JetSport National Tour. The result was a national championship in the prestigious 785cc runabout class. Kawasaki won that battle, but the war rages on. Other manufacturers have been far from idle in preparation for revenge at the International Super Bowl of Jet Sports Racing, the IJSBA Scat Track World Finals. This single event will define Jet Sports Racing's king of the world for both man and machine. Hello, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Lake Havasu City, Arizona, as Scat Track brings you the 1995 IJSBA World Finals, presented by West Coast Performance Products. Todd Harris along with Chuck Kuntz. And Chuck, once again, we are here for the big one, the Super Bowl of personal watercraft racing, and this one is for all the marbles, a truly international event.
Well, this is truly the international sport. You got one weekend to pull it all together, unlike the Bud Tour in the middle of the summer where you've got 10 events to decide who the national champion are. You come here, the best in the world, you got one weekend, one day really, to pull it all together and become a world champion.
All right, let's get right to it. In the runabout division, the best in the world are here at Lake Havasu City, Arizona, to determine a new world champion, possibly, but we've already got a man who looks like he's on his way for a repeat.
Well, Minoru Kanemaru is the 1994 world champion, and he's already picked up a big win this morning in slalom and a new world record. But he's got a lot of competition coming after him. Chris Fischetti, representing the Sea-Doo team, the best hopes probably of the Sea-Doo team. He's out there and running very, very well, as is Chris McCluggage in the Yamaha camp on the ProTech Yamaha. But Polaris has really stepped up their effort. They've had a fantastic qualifying session. I look for big things to come from them today, too.
We've got all that, plus the other divisions. Before we get to Moto number one, let's check in with a third member of our broadcast team, a former world champion himself, the Ripper, Larry Ripperkrugger, who's standing by. Larry.
Thanks, guys. Well, here to Havasu, the atmosphere always electric. This year is much the same. The buzz in the pits this year, however, is over the performance of the Polaris. It's surprising everybody, raising a lot of eyebrows. In the past, it could have been any one of three manufacturers in the winner's circle. This year, it could be four. So heads up. Who knows? Everybody's rolling dice. Nobody's making any predictions at this point, but you know it's going to be some great racing. We'll see what happens as the day progresses. Back to you.
Thank you, Larry. Well, we're close enough to Vegas that if you were a betting man, that's the man to put your money on, the defending world champion, Minoru Kanemaru. Chuck, it takes more than just a fast boat to win out here.
Well, technical expertise is real big and important, and 20 points are available. Slalom, Kanemaru's already got those. They're going to run two closed-course motos. They combine the results, 60 points available there.
Here's the field of battle, Chuck, and there's a lot of tricky maneuvering to be done out there.
Well, first of all, you get off the start, you go up around that big left-hand sweeper, drop down into the split section. Of course, riders have the option taking the outside or the inside section of the split course. That brings them to the right-hand side of the course, and that's where things get interesting. You've got a real high-speed section of the course, and some riders haven't figured that out yet. You travel through there at a real high rate of speed, you can carry your momentum right on through to the backstretch. Some riders, they just slow down in that section, and that's costing them time.
We are set to go. 785 Moto number one. Chris McCluggage on the inside, Minoru Kanemaru next to him. Keep your eye on those two. And McCluggage just rockets out of there. That is a world title chase run there, but unfortunately they're going to red flag him, and Chris McCluggage is going to start with a disadvantage.
Well, it's a definite disadvantage to start with your hand on your head, and that's what it's going to cost him because of that red flag. McCluggage, the fastest qualifier from the day before. We'll take a look at the start right here. McCluggage goes over the top of the rubber fan as it crosses underneath his hull. We'll take a look from the opposite side, and right there, to me, Todd, it looked like he got off the line right on time.
Well, Chris, we'll start with a dead engine and a hand on his head. That is the penalty. That gives the advantage to Minoru Kanemaru. Look at Jojo Ludwig and Frank Romero, but Kanemaru has got the throttle down, and he's starting to pull away.
Well, we're getting a view from Wild Bill Pointer's MSD Rossier Engineering Sea-Doo as they sweep that first turn. He drops right in behind Kanemaru. Kanemaru out in front.
So it's Minoru Kanemaru and the Team Kawasaki, both number one, the defending world champion. There's Chris Fischetti. He opts for the inside split track, looking for any advantage.
Fischetti looking for all he can get. Pointer on the outside follows Kanamori through as they head down the front side of the course. Pointer takes that look over to see where Fish is.
And he's got to look in front of him because Chris Fischetti moved up one spot. So Minoru Kanamori gets the clean waters. We go into the green flag lap. An incredible start for him, and he just exhibited just how powerful that boat is.
Kanamori all year long, again this year, battled for that #1 spot on the Bud Tour and ended up having to settle for 3rd place overall with his teammate. We'll take a look back at this start again. Lambert's this time gets a really great start. The #8 boat, you can see sticking a nose out there, is JoJo Ludwig on the Polaris. Again, we'll get another view right here. Lambert's off the line first, Ludwig right next to him, but then here comes Kanamori on the inside. Kanamori charging hard to the first turn. Pointer trying to move his way right in there.
Minoru Kanamori, originally out of Kobe, Japan, living now at Lake Havasu City, Arizona, 29 years young, and no one is doing it any better right now on the Kawasaki Team Kawasaki XI. Minoru Kanamori, the defending world champion. As we go to the stats, it's Kanamori atop the leaderboard, followed by Chris Fischetti, Bill Pointer, Victor Sheldon, and John Stevens. We'll be back to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, right after this. The IJSBA World Finals are brought. Is watching the IJSBA Scat Track World Finals. Todd Harris along with Chuck Kuntz and Larry Rippenkroger. We're in the middle of Moto #1. That's 785 runabout class. Our current leader, Minoru Kanamori.
Well, Kanamori in that #1 position and starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. Everybody else trying to chase him down. In 2nd place, the Flying Fish doing everything he can do to try to get there, but it's just not enough. Kanamori hanging on.
Chris Fischetti, somewhat of a frustrating conclusion to the 95 Tour, losing the title in Dallas. In 3rd position is Bill Pointer Jr. out of Laguna Niguel, California, and he's about to get some company.
Well, off the split section of the course, 888 to Reba Yamaha. Dustin Farthing is giving Pointer everything he could want. Pointer on the outside, now on the inside as they come up on this yellow buoy. It's a tight battle, and Pointer barely hangs on.
Well, this is a case of the young and the old. Bill Pointer, been on the tour for many a year, giving a little bit of a dicey lesson to Dustin Farthing, but Dustin Farthing is right on his tail.
This is that section of the course where I was talking about earlier that separates the men from the boys, where you can hang on to that throttle, and Pointer, one of the veterans, knows the savvy part of the course. That's exactly what he's doing as he works his way to the backside of the course.
Just ahead of Bill Pointer, boat number 300, the West Coast Rocket Ship Racing prep Sea-Doo, Chris Fischetti, looking very strong, and Chris has had some mechanical problems in the past, but right now, he's doing great, the boat's doing great, the pit's got to be happy. Let's get up close and personal with the fish. You can try if you like, but you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone else in the world of sports whose enthusiasm and energy level is any higher than the Flying Fish, Chris Fischetti. Chris's style of self-expression has become legendary in the sport and a point of contention to more than a few. His natural exuberance is just that, all part of the work of art known as the fish.
Well, yeah, fish. Well, it's hard. On camera, myself, I like to be the focal point of attention. Sometimes, you know, at the race, there's a lot of high energy, a lot of adrenaline flowing. If I'm winning, especially, a lot of adrenaline is flowing. So it's hard to keep that contained while in front of the camera. And it's good to, you know, try and hype the sport and hype the action. Everybody wants to see that. So, it's, you know, it always plays to my advantage to be extremely colorful in front of the camera. And that's, it's my personality. And at the race, maybe I stretch it a little bit, but then maybe that's just me. It's hard to say.
I got Pops on my side. Guys, technician on a mission. Liquid speed. Just add horsepower. He's like backed in a corner with the point lead hanging from his mouth like a rabid dog. No one's going to take it from him. I'll pilot whatever sci-fi horsepower he gives me and bring it whatever fashion it takes to the finish line.
Yeah. One of my biggest assets on my team is my dad, of course. He's been my wrench for 9 of my 10 years of racing. The guy's incredible. He's an animal. I mean, he works relentless hours. It's hard to say. Without his dedication, he definitely pushes me, and his determination has made me what I am, for sure. If there's anybody that goes 100 miles an hour every day, all the time, that would be my dad. But next to him would be me, and I try and carry momentum on the track, off the track, in my interviews, all the time is high-speed momentum. And yeah, that's me. It's about how it works and how I work. Full speed.
The Flying Fish, love him or hate him, the guy really puts on a show, and most of the people here at Havasu, Chuck, love the fish.
Well, I've had the opportunity to be around Chris Fischetti ever since his introduction to this sport, and he's been nothing but wonderful, colorful amazement to this sport. He's carried it for a lot of years.
With all the pleasantries aside, Chris Fischetti has a big mission on his hand right now, and that is trying to track down Minoru Kanamori. Currently in 4th place, however, Dustin Farthing, boat 888, the Riva Yamaha, and this is his first taste as a pro at the World Finals.
He's a rookie, and boy, is he a rookie. Look at him here again. He's given Pointer all he wants. This time I thought he had him, but Pointer battles right back. And these guys are swapping fiberglass and paint, and McCluggage, who started with a dead engine, he just took advantage of that dice and moved himself into 4th place.
Well, Chris McCluggage, a testimonial to rider savvy, has moved his way all the way up to 5th place, and he is starting to bump with Dustin Farthing. Both the riders missed the buoy. They will have to circle back in traffic, and this is where it gets interesting.
Well, as they circle back to pick it up, Todd, Brent Flambert's on 151, the ProTech Yamaha monopolized, and he picks up 2 positions. Now he's in a dead heat battle with Dustin Farthing. Farthing has to get pushed wide. Flambert's takes the position, and underneath slips McCluggage. Now McCluggage on the outside has to back off, and Flambert's takes off in that number 4 spot, drops Farthing back to 5th, and McCluggage in 6th, and trying to move up.
Well, Dustin Farthing showing a lot of guts out here. He weighs about as much as McCluggage's life vest when it's wet, and he is getting a lot of bumping out there for a young man for his first year at Lake Havasu as a pro. All credit to him, though. He is not backing down.
Let's take a look back right here and see how this all came about. First of all, you've got Farthing and Pointer bumping and banging as they come up on this buoy. McCluggage, trying to take advantage of it, moves to the inside. Now, he takes over for Farthing, and that puts him right behind Pointer. Farthing, on the other hand, as we move into the next section of the course, tries to make a bid on McCluggage, swaps positions with him momentarily, then they bump. That pushes Farthing to the inside of the buoy, missed that buoy. McCluggage missed it also because of the movement of the buoy. On the outside, Flambert's on 151 ProTech Yamaha tries to take advantage and does, pulls ahead of both riders and moves up a spot.
Dustin Farthing having to look in his rearview mirror quite a bit with Chris McCluggage on his tail. That will keep you busy all race long. Meanwhile, Chris Fischetti, we might have jinxed him, but the fish has got boat problems.
Chris Fischetti's boat dead in the water. He's reaching down, hitting that start button, trying to make it go. It won't. Here you can see him coming across the front side of the race course. Takes a look at that buoy. You know, earlier I thought I saw the boat slow momentarily. Now I can see it's totally stopped in the water. Fischetti knows this is a terminal problem as he lets the boat glide to a stop.
And this is definitely something you can't have happen at Lake Havasu in Moto number 1 if you have any shot at a world title. Chris Fischetti just utterly dejected. This is something he tried to avoid all year long, and the bug has bit him once again.
Well, this is the World Championship gone for Chris Fischetti. He stands no chance now to make it whatsoever. And there's the man in the driver's seat, Minoru Kanamori.
Minoru Kanamori hanging out the no vacancy sign in the number 1 position. He is followed by Bill Pointer, Brent Flambert's, Dustin Farthing, and Chris McCluggage. JSBA World Finals. Todd Harris, Chuck Kuntz, and Larry Rippenkruger bringing you the action. 1 lap to go for our leader from the start. That's Minoru Kanamori, boat number 1, the Kawasaki, Team Kawasaki XI. While we were away, Dustin Farthing and Chris McCluggage having all kinds of problems. They have dropped back in the pack. But for Mr. Kanamori, it has not been any better than this, Chuck. From the very start, he has led wire to wire, and his boat has run perfectly.
Well, Kanamori's only got a couple more turns to make. In fact, here they are. He's heading right down. Joe Lazay, checkered flag in his hand, and Minoru Kanamori is going to win Moto number 1. He takes a look back while Bill Pointer is going to claim that number 2 spot.
So Minoru Kanamori takes a big step towards repeating as world champion. Bill Pointer puts in a great race. All kinds of other good racing going on out there from Chris McCluggage and Dustin Farthing. But it's Minoru Kanamori winning, followed by Bill Pointer, Brent Flambert's, Brad Lockhart, and John Stevens in 5th. Minoru Kanamori and the Team Kawasaki team just gave us a sample of the great racing we've had out here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the cornucopia of racing action here at Lake Havasu.
The Pro Runabout 1200 class was introduced to Jet Sports Racing at the beginning of the '95 national season. These bigger displacement boats are somewhat like the 500 class in motocross racing. More horsepower, yet similar hulls to the Runabout 785. Dan Fitzgerald came to the World Finals as the man to beat after a successful national tour campaign. With slalom performance de-emphasized at this year's finals, the motos would determine the world champion.
Moto number 1 began with a bang as Fitzgerald and nemesis Derek Punchard collided in the first turn. The accident put an end to the day for Punchard, as well as Team Kawasaki's 1200 class title hope. After a restart, Fitzgerald led wire to wire and moved one step closer to the title. Finishing in second was Jason Schultz.
Moto number 2 was a carbon copy of Moto number 1. Fitzgerald got the whole shot, and Schultz chased him for 15 laps to again finish second. The result, national champion Dan Fitzgerald was now world champion Dan Fitzgerald.
Yeah, it was a tough go early on today. I had a collision with a Kawasaki rider, which was unfortunate, but you know, when you got more than one person trying to occupy the same space at the same time, sometimes weird things happen. But I really got to give it to Riva Yamaha, Tim Judge. Without the horsepower, I could have never done it. I feel like I'm just steering it around. The boat is just incredible.
Congratulations to Dan Fitzgerald and the entire Riva Yamaha team. Here's a look at the overall standings. In the Pro Sport 785 class, it was Chris Fischetti who had won the 95 national title, and he too wanted to add a world crown to his season's accomplishment. The slalom was won by RPM Racing's Rick Welch of Pittsdown, New Jersey, while the Flying Fish finished second.
After 2 red flag starts, Moto number 1 began with Tom Bonacci on the Bullet Marine Sea-Doo out-accelerating Fischetti to the first turn. As the race progressed, Bonacci's Bullet Marine teammate Art Chambers moved into second, and Fischetti had to accept third as Bonacci took Moto number 1.
As the races were staged for Moto number 2, 3 had solid shots at the 95 world title, Bonacci, Chambers, and Fischetti.
Again, Bonacci hole-shotted, but this time Chambers was in second and Fischetti was trying to make up for a poor start. Things went from bad to worse for the national champion as misbuoys and an eventual engine failure ended his day. Meanwhile, the Bullet Marine teammates went on to finish first and second.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet right now. I can't say enough for the Bullet Marine guys. They got the boat really running. That Sea-Doo HX was just screaming. It just made my job so easy out there. I got good starts in both motos, and just pretty much rode my own race, rode real smooth, and it was almost too easy.
Congratulations to World Sport Class Champion Tom Bonacci. A quick update from the pits. Chris Fischetti's boat lost in Moto number 1 of the 785 class a broken modified crank. He is getting a new engine. He will be ready for Moto number 2. But up next, it's the Pro Ski Division. Nicholas Rios and Chris McCluggage doing battle here at Lake Havasu City. Stay with us. Welcome back to Lake Havasu City, Arizona, as Scat Track brings you the 1995 IJSBA World Finals presented by West Coast Performance Products. Todd Harris along with Chuck Kuntz. We are now set for Pro Ski Moto number 2. And after Pro Ski Moto number 1, I don't know if it's going to get much better.
Well, man, we have got a dogfight going. Nicholas Rios was able to pull off the win in slalom this morning, and Chris McCluggage finished second. But then in the first moto of the closed course, Chris McCluggage pulled off a huge win, looked so fast. He was the class of the field, and Nicholas Rios, the best he could pull off was a 4th place finish. So Nicholas is going to have a real uphill battle in Moto number 2 to try to keep his world championship.
Well, the burden really is on Nicholas Rios at this time. He has got to get in front of Chris McCluggage and win this thing outright. There's so many different scenarios, but right now Chris McCluggage is thinking one thing, and that's hole shot.
Well, that's all he needs basically to do, and he's doing it right now. Him and Rob Flores side by side. You see Rios move to the inside, trying to get clean water, get a position. It's going to be McCluggage with the hole shot. Flores going to come out second, Rios in third.
So it's Chris McCluggage, boat number 1, the ProTech Yamaha, as he leads them into the green flag lap. He will go to the outside as Rios and Flores go to the inside.
Rios on the R&D Racing Kawasaki, Flores on the R&R JetTech Yamaha. They're doing battle on the inside section of the split. McCluggage able to get away, coming down to the front side of the race course. McCluggage takes a peek, and he knows he's got him as he blazes right across the front side of the race course.
A lot of credit to Nicholas Rios, though. He really came up after a bad start. He is now in the second position, right behind Chris McCluggage. Chris McCluggage all year has been up and down, but here at Havasu, he's really found his groove.
Well, McCluggage has wanted a world championship for a long time. Last year, we thought he had it, and then he lost it in the tiebreaker scenario. Rios, though, is just dogged determination, doing everything he can, trying to reel him in. Rios has got to win this race in order to take it away.
As we go back to the start, Chris McCluggage holding nothing back. He was right on top of that start, and he's getting some company from good friend Rob Flores.
McCluggage up quickly on that boat. You notice he's in a crouch. Flores took a little longer to get up. The horsepower is almost even. They're side by side. Now the spray is starting to kick up from McCluggage's boat. Flores drifts out to the right to get away from that spray. When he does, that opens the door for McCluggage. He stays on the power and drives away.
Chris McCluggage, young 21-year-old from Naples, Florida, the 94 Pro Ski National Champion, looking for a world title here, and I'd say Chucky's got a good leg up on it.
We're going to get a freestyle performance timing machine lapse time on McCluggage as he makes his way down the front straightaway by the tower, shuts it off at 1:13.4 lap. In moto number 1, he turned a 1:13.8, so in moto number 2, he's 0.4 of a second faster.
If you're rooting for Nicholas Rios, that does not bode well. Chris McCluggage getting faster is a thought that keeps a lot of riders awake at night. Nicholas Rios, though, hanging in there. He is looking for some kind of gap, some kind of mistake that McCluggage makes, and he will be there to take advantage of it.
And you can see how the water conditions play a factor. In second place, you see Nicholas Rios, and he's having to battle the conditions that's set up by McCluggage as McCluggage continues to lead with the smooth water.
Rob Flores out of Las Vegas, Nevada in third place, and Flores has had a great year this year on the national tour aboard the Yamaha R&R JetTech boat. In fourth place is Jeff Jacobs on the Riva Yamaha, the 5-time national and world champion. And in moto number 1, Jeff Jacobs and Nicholas Rios got together, and it's like two pen pals who haven't seen each other for a long time, a little bumping and grinding.
Well, it's been a while since the two of them were in a position to do something like this, and they've done it real good. We get a real good look as Rios goes over the bow of Jacobs' boat, takes Jacobs out wide, both of them down in the water. Jacobs, however, recovered a lot quicker.
Talking with the Jammer earlier in the day, made a few comments that really surprised me.
I think experience is overrated, to tell you the truth. I mean, when you're up on a line, and if you want it bad enough, I don't care if you've been in it for 20 or 30 years, if you want it bad enough, you can attain it by having a good frame of mind. And whether it's my, which I think it is like my 10th year here, I could trade that in for some, you know, some youthful experience as far as just getting out there and wanting to win because I've never won before. I could trade that in for some of my experience. I wish I could, but it's a give or take, and I mean, it's anybody's game. You just don't, how bad you want it is what you're going to get out of it.
Well, there was a big question mark as to whether Jeff Jacobs would even be here this weekend, suffering 3 broken ribs earlier in the year.
Right now, though, it is Mr. Healthy, Chris McCluggage in the lead. Right now, boat number 1, the ProTech Yamaha out of Naples, Florida, the 21-year-old, looking very youthful and very hungry for a world title. As we go to commercial, let's check the leaderboard. It's Chris McCluggage, Nicholas Rios, Rob Flores, Jeff Jacobs, and Todd Ross. More racing right after this. ESPN's coverage of the 1995 IJSBA World Finals from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Todd Harris, Chuck Kuntz, and Larry Rippenkerger bringing you the action. Right now, it is Chris McCluggage bringing the noise on the rest of the pack. He is our leader in the Pro Ski Division, moto number 2, followed by Rios, Flores, Jacobs, and Todd Ross.
Well, McCluggage is definitely doing everything he needs to do. Now it's up to Nicholas Rios. The last part of the race is now coming up. Rios has to get on the gas and get him, or the title goes to McCluggage.
Rios in the past has had history of fatigue problems in the latter part of races, Chuck. Is this what we're seeing here?
Right now, he seems to be looking real strong. He doesn't seem to be favoring his back or his legs. He's riding hard. He's in a good riding stance, kind of leaning forward into the handle pole, keeping the nose of the boat down. He's just looking real strong, and it's going great.
Let's take a moment to get up close and personal with this French sensation. It was only a few years ago that the young Frenchman Nicholas Rios made his debut in the U.S. and at Lake Havasu for the World Final. Not automatically accepted by fans or competitors, Nicholas has battled his way to the top and has gained respect from and for the U.S.'s top riders.
I respect them a lot, even if we give us each other a hard time on the race. I mean, outside the race, I have big respect for them. The same like Chris is training hard, and I know I know what that means. And I mean, all of them desire what they get.
Over the past few years, Nicholas has deserved what he's received. With back-to-back world championships and the 1995 IJSBA national title under his belt, he has become a permanent fixture in U.S. racing. Now living in Lake Havasu during the U.S. season and riding for Bill Chapin, Glenn Dickinson, and the R&D racing team, Rios is here to stay.
This for the first time ever this year, I can do my dream come true. And so I definitely be in America for a long time, I guess, as long as I stay on the top. What I love about the people here, in Havasu, they're very They very enjoy talking to you, very easy, and that is the way here. What I hate is like too much car on the freeway or something. The cops, they're very hard, and I like very much the woman.
Besides social perks and the titles, Rios has come to appreciate the acceptance of the U.S. fans.
I see now, right now in the World Finals, like I'm very popular at what I see, and while it's feel pretty hard inside to, you know, receive some affection, and a lot of people appreciate for what you do and not for where you come from, so that's pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Thank you.
And there sure are a lot of fans out there that would like to see Nicholas Rios three-peat.
Well, it's going to be a tough task at hand because right now he's got to find some way to get in front of Chris McCluggage. And Chris McCluggage, as we said earlier, his boat is going even faster now than it did in Moto number 1.
McCluggage and Rios starting to pick off the back markers as the laps wind down. Rios right now coming up on Lightning Larry Hessley, and they split sides of the course.
Well, for Chris McCluggage now, it's just keeping the boat together. He is down to the final lap as he makes the turn down the front. Looks over his shoulder, and he's got to feel pretty good about where he is right now.
Well, he's way out in front as things would be right now. Rios making his way down to the front side of the race course as he comes across and takes the white flag. Hessley now has moved back around, and he's put himself in front of Rios. Hessley making his way up to the buoy. Rios comes right up behind him, and Rios gets caught in the rough water trying to recover, takes a look back. Rios goes down, Flores goes by.
So Rob Flores passes up Nicholas Rios on the last lap. Hessley was giving Rios all kinds of problems, couldn't get around him, went to take a look behind him, and now Nicholas Rios finds himself in third position.
And Rios making a gesture to the course. Officials letting him know that he feels Hessley was a problem and cost him a position. Flores now to second place.
So Rob Flores benefits from the Hessley-Rios debacle. He moves into second place, and for Rios, the day is just getting even more frustrating.
Well, we're going to take a quick look back at this right there. Hessley slowed down coming to that yellow buoy. Rios didn't anticipate it. He had to go wide, tries to recover, takes a look back to get his bearings, and loses an edge. He goes down, Flores goes by. That's that.
Rob Flores from Las Vegas, Nevada on the R&R Jet Tech boat. Brought some fans out with him today, but right now the man of the hour has got to be Chris McCluggage. He's got one more turn to go, and he will be the world champion.
And don't you think he knows it, Todd? The finger in the air, the number 1, thanking his maker for what he's achieved. The clinched fifth, the checkered flag, and the world championship to Chris McCluggage.
Chris McCluggage, I said it before, I will say it again, pound for pound, the best jet sports racer in the business. He put on an absolute show today, followed up by Rob Flores, who will come in a very comfortable second place. For Nicholas Rios, though, the day went from bad to worse.
Well, Rios did everything he needed to do. He rode his heart out, probably the best conditioning of his career. He's not happy, and he's letting the officials know.
Well, Nicholas Rios may have reason, a point of contention there. Larry Hessley really made it hard for him to get around, but the day really belongs to Chris McCluggage. He put on an absolute show, knew what he needed to do. Somewhat of an underdog, he comes out and wins it, followed by Flores, Rios, Jacobs, and Todd Ross. IJSBA World Finals. Todd Harris, Chuck Kuntz, and Larry Rippenkruger bring you the action. We've got a packed house, standing room only is the word. And moments ago, it was Chris McCluggage claiming the world title in the Pro Ski Division, followed by Rios, Flores, Jacobs, and Ross. Let's go to Larry.
Thanks, guys. Well, you've had ups, you've had downs. This weekend was definitely an up for you, Chris.
Yeah, Larry, I just want to, start off and thank the Lord first and everybody else second. And, second comes ProTech and Yamaha and Jet Pilot and all those guys, my family especially, they came out this weekend. I wish my dad was here, miss him, and, just want to thank everybody for coming out to the World Finals.
Well, it really is a group effort. You've got a great team behind you, but this weekend in particular, you seem to be really on, focused. Your riding was outstanding. You were virtually unchallenged out on the closed course. What was different? Was it the training coming into the event or just the focus here today?
Larry, it was a different type of training. It was more of a mental training for this World Finals. Leon Bullock, he's good all around. He's got it real strong with the mental part and with the physical. And, you know, he just tells me to be humble and, you know, give thanks for whatever happens, and I just, you know, appreciate everything that happens.
Well, it's a good plan. It's a good system. It's working for you so far. Congratulations, Chris. Great day, and good luck as the tour runs up next year.
Thank you very much, Larry.
Congratulations go out to Chris McCluggage, the 1995 world champion in the pro ski division. But Chris has one more moto to run, that being the 785 runabout class. We wish him the best of luck. Before we get to our final moto of the day, we want to check in with some of the other classes that took place here at very warm Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Tara Chrisman, two-time national and world champion, confidently started the women's competition off with a bang as she ripped up the slalom course with a time of 22.8. With others unable to improve on her time, Tara took the immediate lead of the world finals with Lisa Wasik from South Africa and Tracy Cole from Las Vegas right behind.
The competition continued with closed course moto number 1 with Tara Chrisman in the overall points lead. It was do or die for everyone else. Christy Carlson was disappointed earlier on as she lost control around the second turn, giving up her second place positioning. Those behind quickly passed her by, trying to gain on front runner Michelle Baines, who managed the whole shot.
With Tara behind, Michelle kept command of the lead. In lap 3, Tara made a successful charge on Michelle's lead and overtook the front position. For the remaining 9 laps, Tara held on to the lead and took it to the finish line as Lisa Wasik placed second and Tracy Cole finished in third.
In moto number 2, Tara continued to shine as she gained the early lead with the whole shot, giving Tara the overall championship. Though Christy greatly improved her showing in moto number 2, finishing in second place, it was just too late for her to be any kind of threat to Tara.
Sometimes you have a bad run out there, and you know, it happens. And I was just, you know, Lisa Wasik, my teammate, she was there the whole time, and just battled it out on the track, and I came out on top.
So for the second year in a row, it's the local girl, Tara Chrisman, taking home the world title. She's followed by Lisa Wasik from South Africa, Lisa Barsby from the UK, Christy Carlson, and Tina Martinez. The freestyle competition is a favorite part of the World Finals each year. This year was no exception as both new and recognized faces competed for this coveted world title. An international field of 9 competitors took turns in front of the judges, each trying to outdo the others in style, creativity, and difficulty. Crowd favorite and former national title holder Lloyd Berlew out of Indianapolis, Florida tried to recapture his #1 status. In the end, the judges awarded Berlew with a 48.4-point score, giving him 4th place overall. It was a big year for this competitor, Canadian Rick Roy. He achieved 1st place on the IJSBA National Tour this year, and Rick hoped to end the year with the world title. In the end, his very competitive routine gave him a 49.3 score and 3rd place overall. The international gathering continued as Douglas Carvalho from Brazil did his best to please the judges. Carvalho is no stranger to the World Finals competition. He's been here before, but never has he performed so well. He pulled off some hot maneuvers and earned a score of 49.4. Carvalho enjoyed his very own cheering section. Fellow Brazilians cheered him on as he claimed 2nd place. Freestyle world champion Mark Sickerling from Germany wanted nothing more than to defend his title, but at the very least he wanted to place within the top 5. With the luck of the draw, he was awarded the last run of the day. Analyzing the runs before, Mark knew he had to give it his all.
I feel unbelievable. I was not prepared for a 10 and to beat these guys, but you know, before I was happy to go out last, to know what I have to risk, and I saw I have to risk everything. And I did it, and I got it.
A perfect 10 score along with other high marks gave Mark what he wanted most, a successful attempt to defend his Freestyle World Championship title.
Well, the other routines was very close. You know, pro freestyle is in such a high level. It's very, very close. But I think my style is not a lot of show, no mistakes, and my difficult tricks. And I think I stay in my style. I don't try to copy somebody else, and I think that's what they love.
And you will be back next year?
For sure.
All right. Congratulations to Mark Sickerling. He's followed by Carvalho, Roy, Berlew, Wood, and Kant. When we come back, the final race of the day from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Don't go away.
This is where the big bucks are being spent.
This is the one everyone's looking forward to.
Boy, this is going to be a gunfight. I'm telling you, Kanamori is on the driver's seat. It's all his. All he's got to do is look good. He's got the win in slalom. He had the big win in Moto #1. The whole field is going to have to chase him down to get it done. Fischetti braking, that just puts him out of it. There's no chance. Everybody else, Top Gun, has got to be after Minoru Kanamori.
Minoru Kanamori is the man. He's got the pole position by virtue of winning Moto #1. And Chuck, with his history of starts, he's going to be tough to catch.
Everybody else has just got to hope they can do it. And right there, Victor Sheldon, he thought he was going to get it done, but that thought got him in trouble. He got across that rubber band way too quick. That's going to be real costly. Back to the starting line, hand on the head, engine dead, and only one holder allowed to keep that boat steadily pointed forward. Victor's day just about done, too.
Well, the Slasher had a great year on the National Tour. He gets a little jumpy on the start here. We go back and look at this, and Victor has been known to jump the gun, but if he times it just right, he comes off looking like a hero right there, Chuck, not even close.
No, it looks more like the GOAT there. He definitely crossed that line way ahead of the rubber band releasing. He's on the line suffering the penalty. The engine revs are starting to come up again. We're getting ready to go to Moto #2.
And as you look down the line, Minoru Kanamori is a good 3 or 4 feet off the line, trying to get a good momentum jump. See if he can do it. The rubber band snaps. We are clean. Chris Fischetti gets a great start, but so does Minoru Kanamori, Chuck, and it looks like he's going to break it off for his second hole shot of the day.
Well, that pole position's all important, and he's going to take the #1 position. Fischetti, though, on a hard charge trying to catch him.
But it's Minoru Kanamori who's got the clean water. He will go to the outside, and once again, the Kawasaki team, Kawasaki XI, does what it can right up the line, another hole shot.
Well, this is where it's got to work for Fischetti. He's got the clean water. The only time he'll get it on the inside split, but he's not going to get to the front side of the race course fast enough. Kanamori, the #1 spot. Everybody else is in pursuit.
Somewhat of a deja vu. Moto #2 finds us with Minoru Kanamori taking them into the green flag lap. Boat #1, the Kawasaki team, Kawasaki XI. He is being pursued by the Flying Fish, Chris Fischetti, boat number 300, the West Coast Rocket Ship Racing Prep Sea-Doo.
We're getting a look from Billy Pointer's MSD Rossier Engineering Prep Sea-Doo at the riders right ahead of him. Directly in front of him is Chris McCluggage on the ProTech Yamaha, and right ahead of him, Dan Fitzgerald on the Riva Yamaha. And Billy Pointer doing a little bumping and banging with Dustin Farthing, and Pointer misses a buoy, slides around, tries to get it back under control, and doesn't, sliding off the side.
Bill Pointer having all kinds of problems out there. He cannot get the boat to rebalance. He cannot even mount the thing. And Bill Pointer out of Laguna Niguel, California, is having all kinds of problems.
Well, he's finally back up on board. He's got to get the tether reattached, press that start button, get it relit, but he has lost a tremendous amount of position in his very tight first couple laps of racing.
And that is something you don't see from Bill Pointer very often. He is very precise, a very calculated rider, and right there it just looks like he just lost his balance and went over.
Well, first of all, he comes in right here charging too hard. He catches an edge that slides him inside the buoy. He circles back quickly to try to get it, almost loses his balance, goes over the nose. Then his weight transfer goes to the left side of the boat. He's lost forward momentum or drive on the boat. The boat just goes out of control, rolls over on its side. He gets dumped off, tries to climb back on, and just loses all kinds of time and position.
All kinds of time and position. You aren't kidding, Chuck. He lost everything. He is now in dead last. Bill Pointer has moved from 5th to 14th. So that was a 9-place bobble for him. Meanwhile, the battle's really heating up for 3rd. This is Chris McCluggage closest to us. Dan Fitzgerald on the outside.
These guys battling again, as you said, for 3rd place. Fitzgerald able to just hold on. They were doing a little paint swapping, fiberglass banging going down that backstretch, but they've got it back under control, taking the split section of the course. Let's see which one's faster through the split.
Chris McCluggage opts for no more of that banging stuff. He's going to try a cleaner track. He's going to the inside. Dan Fitzgerald to the outside. Dan Fitzgerald's got to deal with Chris Fischetti in front of him. So Chris McCluggage really has an advantage with some cleaner water. Let's see if he can make it pay off.
Well, if anybody can make it work, it's Chris McCluggage, a very heads-up rider. He works his way down the inside section of the split course onto that front straightaway, and he does take over the #3 spot.
So Chris McCluggage, the 21-year-old out of Naples, Florida, inherits the 3rd place position. It's the Mac Attack looking very good here at Lake Havasu City, Arizona. He seems to thrive under pressure, and he is doing just that today. He's already claimed the world title in the Pro Ski division, and he's looking pretty good here in Pro Runabout. Our standings look like this: Minoru Kanamori, Chris Fischetti, Chris McCluggage, Dan Fitzgerald, and Victor Sheldon. We'll be back with more racing right after this. NBA World Finals from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Todd Harris, Chuck Kuntz, and Larry Rippenkroger. And the sun is out, and you know what that means. great personal watercraft racing, and right now it is all Minoru Kanemaru in the 785 runabout class. Boat number 1, the Kawasaki, Team Kawasaki XI from the start. And Chuck, he does not look like he has any problems.
He's been the dominant force in runabout racing this weekend at the World Finals. Everybody else has been trying to figure out a way to get him. Victor Sheldon trying to get up there, his teammate, but it's just not enough time left for him to get there unless Kanemaru makes a major mistake.
All the credit in the world to Victor Sheldon. He started with a dead engine, hand on his head. He is now in 5th place in the 785 class, so a lot of credit goes to Victor, but I think the world title is just out of his reach today.
Well, Victor Sheldon's doing the best he can do to try to get there, but so is Chris McCluggage, hot on the gas, already got 1 world title, would love to get 2. Right now, he's definitely right behind the Flying Fish, Chris Fischetti. And if he could only get around the Flying Fish, he'd be putting the pressure on Kanemaru for the #1 spot. Should Kanemaru have any kind of a problem, McCluggage would be in a position to claim his 2nd world championship in the weekend.
Well, Chris McCluggage this time decides to go to the outside, Chris Fischetti to the inside. Earlier, he used the inside to get past Dan Fitzgerald. Let's see if he can do it on the opposite track.
Well, Fischetti's making his way down that inside section of the split. Now he's just taking a look over, shakes his head, and there's McCluggage, and McCluggage goes by him into 2nd place. So now Kanemaru's title could be in jeopardy if anything goes wrong with that Kawasaki.
Chris McCluggage not making this easy for Kanemaru. I'm sure he'd like to just finish off the last few laps and stroll home with a world title, but McCluggage is not going to let that happen. Chris Fischetti just happy the boat is running. He had to drop out of the first moto. He now drops into 3rd position. Now he tries to get back to 2nd position from Chris McCluggage.
Sources down in the pits have told me that the engine that's now in Fischetti's boat is his Sport Division race motor, so they pulled an engine swap to get him into this one, and he's definitely working fine as he's right in there. And these two, McCluggage and Fischetti, battling each other so hard for the 2nd position that they're actually gaining on Minoru Kanemaru, who's in #1 position.
Well, Chris Fischetti is definitely not giving up on getting that 2nd place back. He is giving McCluggage a good chase, and once again the split comes into it, but this time, Chuck, the strategy, he decides to follow McCluggage.
Well, this time he just doesn't feel, I guess, he's got an advantage, and McCluggage made a mistake. He missed the buoy, circled back to pick it up. Fischetti now back to 2nd place.
Well, for a guy who didn't finish moto #2 and has a different engine in his boat, he's not doing too bad, Chuck.
That's his backup Sport Division race boat motor they've got in there. The engines, though, pretty close to the same, just different hull types.
Well, Minoru Kanemaru continues to lead this race. The story, however, is Chris McCluggage and Chris Fischetti, as they are putting on somewhat of a clinic on position swapping, jockeying, and Chris McCluggage is now right back behind Chris Fischetti.
We're going to take a look back at this missed buoy incident. You can see McCluggage right there makes that hard right-hand turn, but comes up short, slams into that yellow buoy, and comes out on the wrong side, has to circle back and pick it up. Fischetti right on by and continues on.
So he follows McCluggage on the outside portion of the track. It pays off. McCluggage makes a mistake, which he is at times prone to do. But Minoru Kanemaru, no mistake this time. He's making it interesting whether he's letting off the boat a bit, Chuck, to save it or not. They're getting a lot closer.
I've never known Minoru Kanemaru to back off that throttle. He races right to the checkered flag from the beginning to the end. He never lets off. So Kanemaru right now making that boat work for all it's worth. Heading down to the front side of the race course. Here we go, Todd, the white flag. 1 lap to go.
The final lap of the year. Back in the pack in 5th and 6th. That's Dustin Farthing, boat 888, the Riva Yamaha. He is coming up behind position #5. Victor Sheldon on the Kawasaki, Team Kawasaki XI, and they are getting ready to have a little battle here as Dustin is really closing the distance.
Well, Dustin, a tenacious young rider, and he's going to try to take advantage of everything he can on this final lap, and the pressure on. Victor goes over the bars.
Somewhat of a surprise for Victor Sheldon. The nose of the boat goes down, and his momentum just carries him right over the top. Dustin Farthing, boat 888, goes right on by, and he moves into the 5th position.
Take a look back at just how this happened. You can see Victor coming in, the boat bouncing around. He gets pitched up in the air, over the nose of the bar, down into the water he goes hard, and that's it for Victor. Gone, bye-bye.
So Victor Sheldon's plunge cost him several spots. He moves from 5th to 11th. Meanwhile, his teammate Minoru Kanemaru not having any problems whatsoever. He continues to cruise. Boat #1 comes around, Chuck, and this is a world title.
Well, here it comes. He's been looking forward to it. He's going to match last year's experience. There's the celebration. There's the world champion.
Chris Fischetti will come in 2nd place. Chris McCluggage will claim third, and there was a great battle as well. But the king of Lake Havasu, once again, Minoru Kanamori, the world champion in the 785cc runabout class. Congratulations come from Chris McCluggage. He recognizes good talent. The final results in Moto number 2, Minoru Kanamori, Chris Fischetti, Chris McCluggage, Dustin Farthing, and Brent Flambeers. We'll be back to Lake Havasu City, Arizona right after this to wrap things up. Stay with us. And by West Coast Performance Products, better by design. Welcome back to Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Moments ago, it was Minoru Kanamori making a clean sweep in the 785 class. He won everything there was, and now he's standing by with our own Larry Ripperkoger down in the pits. Larry.
Thanks, guys. Very happy today. I would imagine 2 years in a row, 3 events, 3 wins today. How does that feel?
I don't know, just excellent. So then today, you know, my racing is, you know, totally perfect. So I'm stoked.
He's stoked, he says.
Yeah, stoked.
Well, the boats were running great today. Who do you want to give credit for there?
I don't know, for, you know, maybe everybody, for, you know, every classic crew, you know, those guys working very, very hard, and that's, you know, already working pretty late, and that's, you know, everybody working together, you know, hand together, so pretty great.
Well, he's got the whole team together. The combination was working flawlessly today. 3 wins in a row. It's hard to top that, but he'll be back next year. He's hungry for a national. 2 world titles under your belt. Hard to top that. A great day here. Minoru Kanamori, congratulations. Back to you.
Thank you, Larry. Congratulations to Minoru Kanamori, the winner in the 785 runabout class, defends the world title. Havasu once again lives up to all expectations.
It sure does, and Chris McCluggage finally redeems himself for that championship that slipped away in a tiebreaker last year. He's now a world champion, too.
We want to congratulate all of our competitors and world champions here from Lake Havasu City, Arizona. On behalf of Larry Ripperkoger and Chuck Kuntz, I'm Todd Harris. We'll see you next time right here on ESPN.